we just came back literally yesterday from Minnesota to do a paddle coaching certification, which it went incredible great. Today we're having coffee at the Padel Club.
Yeah, with a little bit of gossip.
I like it.
Really cool club. It's the only club, paddle club in
the state of Minnesota.
Yeah. It also has squash and
Pickleball.
So the place is really cool. What did you think about it?
I mean, the place I love it. It feels like an old-fashioned club where you walked in. It's a key club. What it means by a key club is it's not attended by anyone. They give you a code, you walk in, and it's like this huge living room where you have 3 squash courts. 4 squash courts. You have 3 paddle courts. You have 6 pickleball courts. You have a super loungy area with pool tables and darts and foosball, big table to host parties. The vibe of the place, I really loved it. Completely different to what a club here in Miami is. I mean, completely different. It's more like a homey type of feeling. But we were there to do...
well, let's talk about that.
Yes.
Let's talk about their business model, right? It's the first time I've seen it. I mean, I've known that here they started that model at the beginning, meaning like it's a membership club. So you pay a certain amount and you get to play any of the sports for free. So I know here at the beginning a couple clubs started that, but then obviously as there's demand, they eliminated that because that model didn't really work. Obviously, pay to play, you're going to make a lot more money. But this is a little different. So let's talk a little bit about that model. Okay, so they charge about $180.
$180.
And you pretty much can play any sport. Okay, you're talking about squash, pickle, or paddle. And one thing that I really saw there that really surprised me is that the racket rentals are included and
the balls too. The balls too.
So I saw that to be a little bit different than here, but I also saw that there's a keyed entry, so a keyless entry, is that what you call it, right? Where you have your own code and you go in and out. So a very different model. I've never seen that before, where it's like, you pay a monthly thing and you get to play. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of value. If you're looking to build a club, I'm not sure if, depending on where you are, you're going to decide what model you're going to go with. But if you get a certain amount of members, you can project your revenue every single month and cover that fixed cost. And I think that's what's, alluring to people.
Well, Sunset is pretty much the same way, isn't it? Or
No, because you're paying for the court.
Okay,
so
that's right.
You pay membership, you pay the court. Same thing here. You pay membership. Usually, you pay a membership fee just to be able to play in the court. Now, obviously, they have benefits there. There's not just, okay, you get to play. There's benefits there that you have. And then you still pay for a court. As I remember as a kid, in a tennis club, it was the same thing.
Yeah.
It was a small membership fee, and then you're able to pay to play. So it's very different. I've never seen it. I know that I guess it depends on your market, right? So we did some demographics there, and we saw what the average income was, and I guess that would work there. What do you think about that model?
I mean, I think from let's go back a little bit on time when we had we did a consulting also with the owners, and the owners are these 3 guys, wonderful guys, that they're squash players, and the club where they were members in Minnesota, it closed down. So they decided to open their own club as a squash club, and then added, the pickleball. So they went pretty flexible without really knowing how to run a club. So they just went, $180, all you can play, blah, 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 but now they're realizing that membership concept.
I think they had some pay to play. They got a certain amount of pay to play for paddle, and they see that that's pretty profitable.
Well, yeah, and they have also the 90-day, $60, all you can play
that's
membership
great.
too.
I mean, over there, you for 3 months, $60 just to try it out, man.
And you, if you are a possible club owner in a complete new market, which Minnesota is, I mean, it's the first club in the entire state of Minnesota where they have paddle. So it's about you testing the water and see what works and what doesn't work. Another key factor here is demographics. You have to see what your demographics are, because
Financially.
here in Miami, it's impossible to charge $180 for all you can play
Because the per square foot of real estate here is so expensive.
Exactly.
So maybe over there, the per square foot of real estate is not that expensive, and that's something that's doable.
Yeah.
But I believe what happens, and even it happened here, after some time, they realize, and when there's demand, that the membership structure may not work because it makes no sense, because there's so much demand that the pay to play is a better model.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen there, but I know I've seen that here.
I think that the membership is a good way to get you through the door, for you to become a member. And it could be less than $100, but then you have to pay to play, because if not financially, it doesn't make sense, because your operating cost is still always the same or sometimes higher. And for what we saw is they're leaving too much money on the table without really taking advantage. Just to give you an example, they give you balls for free. If you want to play squash, pickleball, or paddle, you don't pay for the balls. That's a huge revenue that you're losing.
The racket rentals.
Racket rentals.
Man, that's a big loss.
That's a big loss too. They don't have in paddle. They don't have any coaches. Though that's why we went there to give certify master coaches for them to be able to start creating a program and start generating some revenue for the club.
So look, if you're treating your customers a certain way and they're getting accustomed to certain benefits. To change that is sometimes a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
You might get some pushback.
But at the end of the day, it's going to be beneficial.
Yeah.
Because for $180, you're getting all this.
Yeah.
That if you play 3 times a week, it's a no-brainer.
So my suggestion would be, getting the memberships a little higher, creating a little more demand, okay, and then start making those little changes. Because if you make the changes now, yes, you probably might lose some members, and then moving forward, you'll regain them, that's another tactic.
Yeah.
But if you create a little bit more demand, those 20% that you may lose, you can reduce that risk to maybe a 10% or 5%.
Yeah.
You're creating demand, so people are like, oh no, and that's fine. But right now, it seems like there's maybe a little pushback on, let's just say, when they do leagues, I mean, the members are expecting it to be for free.
Yeah.
When they do events and they do this, and it's like, wow, I've never seen that.
No.
And maybe it's because they're not accustomed to that, or this is the first paddle club in the area. But I don't think the members see the value that they're getting,
Yeah.
man. I mean, if they go anywhere else to play paddle, they're going to be very surprised, about, what they have to pay,
Look, our initial job there was to go there, and this was something that we offer at Padel Smash. We go to your club, we do a 3-day certification.
Let's talk about that, man.
Yeah, so basically, one of the things that we offer at Padel Smash is we do club certifications, meaning we go to your club and we certify all your coaches or anyone who wants to become a coach. Why? Because we see where the trend of paddle is going here in the U.S. By the end of this year, there's going to be over 2,000 paddle courts in the U.S. We need to create at least 200-300 coaches within the entire country. I mean, if we have 50 coaches in the entire country, that's too many. So I'm being very, very generous. Let's say the number is about 30 coaches. Right now we have about 400 paddle courts. That number is going to almost quadruple to 2,000. So we need to create about 200 to 300 paddle coaches. So we're going to all these clubs to give you the coaching certification, but not only that, we add in an incredible value, because now we're also giving you the consulting. We were there almost 3 hours consulting them what will be the best way to run your club. And we don't tell you it's going to be A, B, or C, but we give you advice because we have the experience on how to run a club and what will be the right way for you to run a club.
All the trends and so forth.
Yes.
So we do the club review, which really helps.
Well,
promote the club.
tell them about the club review. I mean, we give you the short content or long content.
Yeah. At the beginning, we'll do a short form content. You could use that, to promote, that certification in your club. And then we do obviously club review, which always helps. But more importantly, I mean, we go in there. We consult. We talk a little bit about the trends here, what's going on. Some of them may match, some of them may not match. We also learn too, and we see, the different models, of the club owners. We also, help with creating these coaches. Right? There's almost double amount of players here in the USA right now. There's like 300,000 players. Right? So we need coaches. So it's very hard to get coaches from, I don't know, Miami or out of the country to go to Minnesota, let's just say. So you got to create coaches there. You got to find people who are very involved in the community, who are very friendly, who could be, tennis coaches. We had one that you could see, a tennis coach. He had that experience.
Squash coaches too.
Squash coaches. They just need to convert over to paddle and be taught the basics of paddle and try, because they're going to get beginners mostly and intermediates, how to get them on and play correctly and start playing a game. That's the main goal. We have a platform that, they're going to be able to revisit at any time through our website and also through YouTube. They have access to it, which means they get to look at the whole class again, at any time they want. They're going to be able to look at all the drills, the 40 shots of paddle, how to teach the 40 shots of paddle, again, like how to build community.
And the drill is going to be divided by different levels: beginners, intermediate, high intermediates, advanced.
Social media,
business.
Business. We're trying to create community there, so you can always go back to it and see what's new. And we're always adding new content there. It's going to be a great feature, and we're offering that for 3 to 6 months for free for most of the clubs at the beginning, and it's very, very reasonably priced a subscription, at $14.99.
One of the things that we offer there too, and we consult there too, we give you some ideas about how to market your club, and because at the end of the day, if you're a club, let's say in St. Paul, in Minnesota, Minneapolis, you're the first one. How do you try to convert all these people or to find out about your club and that you offer in paddle?
I mean, the main thing is education, right? For the first 12 to 24 months and being consistent, in your social media, marketing, all the platforms. It takes time. It's not something that, a lot of people are looking for this, I want to, contract this marketer person. I want to do this, and it's cost this amount of money, and I expect things to happen like in 1 month. That's never going to happen.
Yeah.
There's multiple things you need to do to build your club. One of them definitely is marketing, but that's long term. And it's 12 months to 24 months of being consistent, And so we do a lot of that consulting as well, and guiding that one person in your club that has some basic knowledge of marketing, but not doesn't understand how to approach the plan. And then we do a lot of consulting with that as well.
No, we give you pretty much a blueprint how to properly run your club. We empower the manager or the general manager or the coaches what to do inside and outside the court. The marketing aspect is huge. The customer service or the customer experience it's huge. I mean, for you to succeed, your coaches are one of the most important ambassadors of the club. Are the ones that they're going to create revenue for the club by running tournaments, doing clinics, doing lessons, promoting the club, running tournaments and things like that.
It's very big, and it's how do people know about that?
Yes.
That's the problem that they're having. And they're getting everything all set up, but nobody knows about it, right? Nobody even knows what paddle is. You have to reach people. You have to bottle up that feeling that you get when you walk in the court. You have to show that shot that the person made. You've got to touch as many people as you can.
Yeah.
And maybe at the beginning, you're just touching 50, 100. When I say touch, meaning people viewing that on social media. Maybe people view 50 and 75, then 100, 200, and you're building that, and you're constantly out there. You're creating SEO words to bring people to your website, to bring people to your platforms. you constantly have to do that. It's constant. How do you create the content? What do you talk about? What do you do? I mean, these are all things that is your coach, one of the coaches, the right person? You got to have that character to do that, and that's what we talk about a little bit, and that's one part of many to get people in the doors in a location that nobody knows about paddle.
Just to give you an example, this club has over 200 paddle players. What I mean by paddle players is they came more than once to play paddle at the club. They don't have up to last week. They didn't have any programming, any coaches to give lessons. So that's an untapped source of huge revenue. That if you have the right programming and the right coaches, and empowering the right coaches to teach these people well, that should be a constant weekly source of income coming to your club, because you want to always be creating new paddle players, especially in a new community like Minnesota. So where your number one clinic has to be the beginners, where you always constantly creating new players. And that's what we taught them, that our basics is that within 60 minutes or 90 minutes that you get someone who never played any paddle into the paddle court, by the end of the lesson or the clinic, they should be able to play a match.
Yes.
And we give you those tools, very specific tools, very specific methodology for you to empower these people to take them to play a sport.
And from the beginning of these coaches to the end, they were able to do that.
Yeah.
It was incredible. They have some great people there.
Yeah.
Not only the owners there. The owners there are, entrepreneurs. They're business people. They love, they come from squash, but they love paddle. They have a vision, but they also have great employees there that really love the club.
Yeah.
And they're doing so much for that club. It's incredible. I mean, those are good employees. I mean, I was very impressed, with them. And then the new coaches that they're going to have, those 6, I think they're going to be really great. I think it's going to help for people that come in and just don't know what to do. I want to play, but I don't even know how to. And instead of them going there just doing this, doing that, they have the basics of being able to play in 60 minutes, which is
so
great.
basically what we're doing with these clubs is we go to the club, we give them the 3-day coaching certification, we give you the consultation, we give you the blueprint how to properly run the club, we give you 2 hours of clinics for your members that we empower the coaches that we're certifying to do those clinics, and they're being supervised by us while they're doing the clinic to their members, to excite the members to see that there is something new coming to the club. And I mean, we were, I mean, it was just a fantastic journey with these people. Yeah. We got to meet them and create these new coaches. We are super excited with the future of this club, where it's going. With our guidance, they really can take paddle in Minnesota to the next level. But I've been super excited about that.
I'm looking forward to maybe hopefully visiting next year and see the progress that they're going to
and do level 2, level 3, and level 4. But it's exciting, and this is just another coffee and talk from Padel Smash Academy.